Usury. I love that word. Good word. Important word for you to read about. U-S-U-R-Y. Read about that word. The usury and the criminalization and all. Just here's where my ethic is. While there's anybody in jail, I am not free. While we're throwing anybody in jail for any reason, I am not free. That's where my ethic is. Yeah, it's like, geez, man. We can take these people. I mean, I worked with retarded kids when I was in college, right? We had amazing times planting trees. That's why we run our fruit tree planting foundation right now, because we go into like drug rehabs and we get those guys out of the cigarettes and coffee and we get them planting trees. And you know what? At the end of the day, they're begging us for more trees. They're begging us to stay longer, and that's the future. We don't know this. What's going on with this stuff? And like throwing kids in jail, it's like, no, bring the kids to us and we'll get them planting trees on the Hopi reservation out at the Four Corners zone where we planted a whole bunch of trees because Kit Carson and his cronies came in there in 1880 and cut down 5,000 peach trees that the Hopis had planted there in the desert, turning that desert ecosystem into food, and they just did it out of spite. And the Hopis are still upset about that. They haven't forgotten that, and we restored 300 of those trees, and our goal is to restore all 5,000. And we'll take the kids, inner city kids, and we'll take them out to the Hopi reservation, and they'll plant with the Native Americans, and we'll all get together. Woo! And you know what's amazing? Isn't that fun? You know what's amazing about that is, what's so awesome about that is that when you talk to the Native Americans after what they've been dealing with, they actually are so stoked that people are there to actually give instead of rip them off. They've been ripped off. I had no idea. None of us do. We have no idea of the rip-offs and the scams and the lying and the government stuff that's been broken and the pacts that have been never, fulfilled by the other side and just all this stuff. And like we're actually there, like, no, we're actually here to give you this because we believe that like you deserve the best food ever, like all of us do. And because our nonprofit is allowed to do that, right, we do it. And we go into drug rehabilitation centers, and we go into Native American reservations, and we go into schools, elementary schools.
What's the nonprofit?
FTPF.org, Fruit Tree Planting Foundation. FTPF.org, entirely voluntary organization. The guy who runs that organization used to work for PETA. And he actually told me, I can't really say anymore what he used to do for PETA, but he did things that were not, the beef industry and the cattle industry were not really happy with him. Let's just put it that way, because he exposed a lot of things. But you know what? I got together with him and I said, a friend of mine, Jill, said, hey, I got a guy for you. I think it would be perfect to run the Fruit Tree Planting Foundation. And she said, this guy is off the problem. He wants solutions.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's it. It's all about, so we get oriented solution always, always. Like every moment we're like solution. So boom, you got your blender out. Let's say you don't have chopping board. Get that out. Get rid of all this cupboard stuff and putting everything away. No, get it all out on your counter like this. Boom, here's your counter right here. Like that. If you bought all of that. Oh, there goes my zapper. If you bought all of that right there, that's probably, I don't know, maybe it's $1,000. I don't, what would you think? Sure. Maybe it's not. Okay. That is half a day in the hospital, just to put it in perspective. Now you have that in your kitchen. It's like, buy the whole thing. Even get this thing. Right? And just go, Glenn. We want the whole thing. Just take it over. And so what'll happen is you got this whole thing now in your kitchen, and it's not this like old idea. Betty Crocker, by the way, Betty Crocker's owned by a dairy company, and it was all designed to sell dairy products. Where it's like all these cupboards and all this stuff. Forget that out. A friend of mine just said, get all the cupboard doors off. Get them off so we can get at stuff and see what we got. Turn it into a health kitchen, like a health center. Yeah, that's your kitchen. So then eventually what happens is, this is what we're seeing. We're seeing it in Maine. We're seeing it in New York. We're seeing it in Florida. We're seeing it in Georgia. The kitchen in the first of you to like set up your kitchen like a health center. You'll have people showing up. Yeah. Neighbors start showing up, and then guess what that does for you? It makes it easier for you to be healthy because it's like they're around and you're all like, let's juice. And then instead of just you cleaning the juicer, they clean the juicer.